If you want to be the most successful, externally looking successful person on the planet, be the most insecure person you can. But how's that going to show up with your kids? How's it going to show up with your partner? How's that going to show up with your own thoughts when no one's around?
I've done work with psychologists in the past and they try and open it all up and I go, don't take the chip off my shoulder. Yep. Like that's my fuel.
Yep.
But now it's probably getting to the first time ever where I've gone, fuck, this is exhausting.
Gentlemen, close down your eyes for me. And if
I love this shit.
I want you to take a deep breath into your heart. Now I want you just keep your eyes closed. Just remove any judgment from your answers for the questions I'm about to ask you. What is the one thing that you wish you got from your dad but you didn't get? Imagine if everyone that you knew how to regulate their emotions so they don't get too dysregulated and act out and do dumb shit. They weren't overcompensating. They weren't self-sabotaging. They knew how to contribute to humanity in a meaningful way and have a career or business doing that. I think the world would be pretty fucking sick.
So Lewis,
Lads.
generationally, from what you're seeing on social media and real life, do you think people now value looking happier externally as opposed to actually being happier internally?
Straight into it, eh? That's a fantastic question. I joke with my clients I say there's a spectrum of humans, and I joke it's not the autistic spectrum, even though I'm on it.
Yeah.
But we've got spiritual people, and these people have crystals on, just like I do now. So they've got crystals, they've got ayahuasca ceremonies every weekend, they're doing breath work, they're doing grounding, they're doing all the sort of woo-woo shit. These people levitate all day, but they're broke. They haven't achieved anything. They're so manifesty, but they haven't achieved anything. And on the other side of the spectrum, you've got the hustle porn people. And that's where probably your question is probably alluded to, where Alex Hormozi is kind of the poster child of that. It's like, sleep when you're dead, fuck your mood, follow the plan. Can I swear on this, by the way?
Yeah, that rip.
Already broke it.
Yeah.
And it's, these people I will prove to the world how worthy I am. So I feel insecure internally. I'm not enough internally. I'm going to achieve things externally to improve to you that I am enough, but in doing so, you're reinforcing that you're not enough. That used to be me. I was like that for a long time until sort of 20. I started the self-development journey when I was 18, went Tony Robbins.
Nice.
I think Tony Robbins is the gateway drug to self-development. He just like gets so many people in there. And to, I think, answer your question, most people are, because I don't think it's unconscious. Like, you can't be held accountable to things you're not aware of. Like Hormozi says, use what you've got. Like at entrepreneurship, use what you've got. Like if you're insecure, if you've got daddy problems, mum problems, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, anger, frustration, use what you've got and get the ball rolling. But that fuel for me, it's very exhausting. It's a very heavy fuel to use. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Down the bottom, you've got survival, food, shelter, procreation. And then up the top, you've got your self-actualization. That's where it goes from sort of motivation, which is extrinsic, to inspiration. That's why I have live inspired living. I use the word inspiration a lot. And you need the bottom layers taken care of. Like if we couldn't pay our rent today, we probably wouldn't be filming a podcast, right? we would be like, how do we close some deals? We'd be hustling, right? So yes, you do use it at the start to get going. But my dream avatar is insecure high achievers. It's people who haven't had the shift yet.
You're in the fucking right place.
You're in the right place.
I was just thinking, oh, just got ding.
So hopefully I'm articulating that properly. But it's people that haven't made the shift yet. They're still using the mum, dad, childhood, I'm not enough, I'm not well loved, I'm not worthy fuel, which it does work externally. If you get the skills right, like get the right strategy in place and do the strategy, you should achieve the goal, the thing. But there's nothing external that will fill the void that's internal. And that's where values and purpose and healing and integration comes into it. And I only really got into that world self-development wise 10 years ago, but like the sort of deeper stuff, probably about 5 to 6 years ago.
What does deeper stuff mean?
Good question. So I see trauma or inner work. So I define inner work is the process of dissolving and integrating all parts of who you are. So it's learning to love and integrate all wounds, all personas, all parts. The best analogy I got for this. When a baby, you lads parents by any chance?
Yeah,
fantastic. When your kids were born and when babies are born, what parts of your children were worthy of love?
All of them.
Fantastic. Everyone says the same answer. From the moment we're born to the moment we pass, we are completely perfect and loved. But then we learn that some parts of us are not lovable. The part of us that's too much, the part of us that's not enough, the part of us that's a loser, that's a failure. And we learn that those parts of us this is shadow work, by the way. So those become our shadows and we try to hide them and we try to put on the persona of the high achiever. I am enough, I am worthy. And sort of ties back to what I said before. So just even understanding the concepts I'm saying, I didn't understand it. I did NLP. That's what Tony uses a lot. So neuro-linguistic programming for the people listening. I did Tony and I did his, have you guys done UPW or Tony Robbins' work before?
No.
I think it's fantastic. He's really good with state change. So like change your state. He says, make you move. Anyone that knows has done this event, you know what I mean? And he's good at like getting out of a shit funk. So change your energy, make your moves, like doing an ice bath, like going for a workout. Like you change how you feel in the moment. And that's fantastic to get the ball rolling. He then does beliefs, like limiting beliefs. I'm not enough, I'm too much and stuff like that, which again, I think is fantastic. For me, I haven't seen him go into the depth of perceptions and the other bodies of healing. So there's the mental body. This is conscious, unconscious, your mind, your memories, everything in your head. You've got the physical body. This is just soma. If you've heard of somatics before, soma means body. So it's like body work, massages, yoga, movement and stuff, move in the body that you've got. You've got the emotional body, that's your nervous system. So any suppressed emotions, gentlemen in general don't really like doing this one because feeling emotions is weak, right? And got to be tough and put on the face, right? That's where like breath work, emotional release processes. Have you guys seen breath work before? Like people having this huge like fucking releases. Breath work's a fantastic tool for that. You've got the spiritual body. That's where shamanism, that's where ayahuasca, that's where breath work, meditation comes into it. You're working with your soul's trauma, if you want to go down that path. And fifth is the energetic body. That's where chakra centers, sound healing. My wife does sound bowls at our events. Like I'm most strongest at mental and emotional. So any mental stuff, emotional stuff, I can take care of it. I'm not a shaman. I didn't bring any ayahuasca with us today. So it's like,
they're good body.
They're not my, I do a little bit of physical stuff, but spiritual and energetic is not my forte. That's not where I sort of play with. But just understanding all of these different levels to what inner work is, not just change your state.
Yeah.
Just so I got a good friend of mine. He's actually a business coach. Actually, pretty good for this. He'll be okay with me saying the story. His name's Dion. And he's a business coach, and he's very Tony Robbins. He's like I went and ran one of his retreats end of last year, and he literally introduced me. He's like, guys, we're bringing up someone that you know who he is. And honestly, guys, the reason I'm bringing him up is he's into trauma, he's into healing, where honestly, I just tell you guys to suck it up and keep working. But I know that's not healthy, so that's why I brought Lewis in. So he's aware of it. That's why he brings me in for it. But I used to think the same thing. I used to be, you're feeling anxious, change your state. You're feeling shit, change your state. Suck it up, get the work done, shut up, fuck your mood, follow the plan. I used to be the overachiever hormozy, but it's like, it starts to show up in your relationships. It starts to show up with your kids. It starts to show up all those projections and triggers. That's the glitch in the matrix where you can't hide from it. Your shit is there. Just a lot of people are good at just like putting the blinders on, not recognizing it, just sucking it up, put it on the persona, the mask. I'm happy. We're really behind the scenes when no one's looking. With your relationships with your kids, there's some shit there. And yeah, that's kind of what I love talking about.
Yeah. I want to really dive into that insecurity making you become a high achiever. It's when I obviously did a little bit of research. I followed you for a while, looked at your story today, and it was one of the things that struck me most because that's definitely me. I'm pretty sure if you're speaking for ads that it's him as well. And what I want to dig into why we're like that so listeners can takes something from that as well, but also how we process and change that, because I completely relate to in the early days, that is your energy and that's your motivation. And we work with an incredible lady called Jess Cameron. She's kind of our mindset guru. And I always said to her, I've done work with psychologists in the past and they try and open it all up. And I go, don't take the chip off my shoulder. Like that's my fuel. But now it's probably getting to the first time ever where I've gone, fuck, this is exhausting. I need to find another way to keep this going.
Yeah, there's two angles to this. There's I'll do the more balanced answer, my answer, then I'll give you like the opposite, which is like, fuck you, don't worry about it. So for me, it's what we said at the start. It's going from motivation to inspiration. Inspiration for me is untapped. So the need for motivation is a symptom of an uninspired goal. So you understand what that means? If you need motivation to do something, it's actually just not in alignment with who you are and you actually don't want to do it. No one had to motivate me to be here today. No one had to motivate me to do my podcast. No one had to motivate me to start my business. Now, at the start, when I couldn't pay my bills, yes, I needed that extrinsic, like you're going to live on the street, you're not going to be able to eat food today, you're not going to feel safe. I needed those external forces to drive me, but it works until it doesn't. So once you get to a certain level of success, you can pay the bills, you've got some investments growing. It's like, you've got a pretty cushy life. It's like, fuck, what's going to keep me going? Just become more insecure, set bigger goals, compare yourself to other people. You could do that if you want to. It just depends what fuel source you want to live. So I prefer the intrinsic fuel source because it's untapped, it's balanced, it will never go away, and it doesn't like eat you out from the inside out. the other angle, if you just want to say, fuck it, what are we optimizing for? Alex Mosey says, what are we optimizing for a lot? If you want me and Jordan, I just super pre-framing the listeners, I have no plan to do this, but I was just like throwing some shit into the universe. I'm like, we've got a baby due in March this year.
Congrats, mate.
Thank you, man. And we're like, we're talking, how do you parent? I'm sure you had those chats when the kids are coming. And we're like, how do we like minimize the amount of trauma that they get? And how do we minimize that stuff and be good parents and stuff? I'm like, I'm not going to do this, but you could like make a really insecure child and that would be an insane high achiever. I'm like, you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, if I look at Michael Jordan, like he hates fucking losing. That's why he's the best. So like, well, Mosey, it's like I obviously don't know him personally. I would love to meet him one day. And because I was in the gym world, so I actually followed him from the gym. Gym. I was in his gym Facebook trip back in the day. So
that's cool.
Anyways, but it's like, I would assume he has wounds around being lazy or weakness. So I don't want to be seen as lazy. I don't want to be seen as weak. So I'm going to just grind. But again, externally it works. So what are you optimizing for? If you want to be the most successful, externally looking successful person on the planet, be the most insecure person you can. Go for it. But how's that going to show up with your kids? How's it going to show up with your partner? How's that going to show up with your own thoughts when no one's around? So again, it just depends what you're optimizing for. I lean towards more like, how do you have a fulfilling, inspiring life where you achieve externally and have fulfillment internally? Will that cost a little bit of drive? Maybe. I can't say it hasn't happened for me. I might contradict it. I was more like grinding at the start at business. Again, do what you need to do. But it's like now I still work, but I work in a way that I'm inspired to. And then I stop when I want to. It's like I could go back home and keep hustling if I wanted to. I'll decide when I get there. So a good question you can always ask is like, what am I inspired to do right now? And just sort of lean towards that. To answer your question, brother, once you heal any underlying stuff underneath the surface, pain becomes purpose, wounds become wisdom. You lean more into the inspired fuel source rather than the I'm not enough fuel source. For me, I haven't seen anyone lower their goals or lower their fuel source, but it could. But so yeah, I guess pick your path.
It's interesting because kind of our story, if you like me and Harv's known each other since we were 14, but very similar backgrounds growing up, working class kids out here, fighting the fight, trying to provide for families. That's our identity, if you like, and what we're about. But if life goes well, we're hopefully, 12, 18 months, 2 years away from not having that first level need of, like rent or mortgage. We've probably got a little bit where we can be comfortable, which scares the fuck out of me. Because I'm like you said, where's the fuel coming from then? Is it then to provide a mansion for my mum instead of just a house? Is it say my missus can have 2 cars instead of 1, but then at the same time, I'm too self-aware enough to know then you're just tricking yourself into trying to work even harder.
Yeah, and you can play like mental gymnastics. It's like if I just set a bigger goal and create a bigger gap, that will give me some of it. And again, it may work. Like I'm only 28, so like check in when I'm 60. But like it's from what I've seen with clients I work with, because a lot of my clients, my average age is probably 40. Like when people come to me, because it's like the midlife crisis is like a good avatar for me, because it's like they've tried to achieve the goals externally, the house, the job, the relationship, the mortgage, the kids, whatever. And it's like, fuck, I still feel empty. And then I'm just speaking sort of based on what I've worked with, is I believe find what fulfills you. So values and purpose. And I can break that down for you guys if you want to go down that path. How do you, I love this quote, when what you do is the greatest expression of who you are, you do your life's best work. So what?
Yeah, say that again.
When what you do is the greatest expression of who you are, you do your life's best work. So that for me is purpose. For me, purpose is your gift to give to the world. Your purpose is an expression of your greatest core wound. Pain becomes purpose, wounds become wisdom. Love this line here, is you become who you needed when you're at your lowest. Let that one drop in for a moment. So when you're generally, it's between the ages of 3 to 10. It's probably in there. If other memory comes up, it's probably just you block the other one out. But for example, my core wound is around being misunderstood, rejected, and hurt. So my dad would punch holes in walls, yell at my brothers, my siblings, fight with my mum, verbally, physically, emotionally. And I felt really hurt. I helped people heal. I felt really misunderstood. Asperger's, autism, ADHD. I struggled to connect with people. I still feel a little bit, even when I met you gents today, I'm like, I feel a little bit uncomfortable still, but I'm getting used to it. So I help people. I felt misunderstood. So I'm on a mission to understand myself and help other people understand who they are. And I felt rejected. I struggled making friends. So I help people actually feel connected and accepted for who they are. So I've become the person I needed back then. Then how do you give that back to the world and how do you get paid to do it? That's kind of it's like, you probably heard the missionary versus mercenary. conversation.
Well, I can understand it. Yeah.
I've heard Hormozy speak about it. I'm like a Hormozy fangirl, by the way, even though something that I don't agree with. So missionaries are more like people, I went through this pain, I had this challenge, and this is so meaningful to me, and I want to give this back to the world, and I want to help people, and I want to get paid to do it, type of thing. The mercenary is like, look, I've looked at the trends in the market. I've looked at this gap in the market. I've figured out our cost per click and our cost per acquisition. And if we have this much profit margin, if we get this much investment, we're going to make millions of dollars. The mercenaries, for me, aren't really my style of client. I like the purpose-led people. How do you give your gift back to the world? How do you get paid to do it? And it doesn't necessarily, by the way, you don't have to make money doing living your purpose, because your purpose could be around kids, could be parenting. It could be, I just want to be the most conscious, healthy, loving parent, because that's what I didn't have. That could be someone's purpose. Then just I would go down, how do you then just have the money coming in for you to do what you want to do?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered that question, but.
Yeah, purpose, it's a good one. And what just came to mind there is purpose can shift over time, because for me, purpose in terms of when we started this business, it was just fucking make it work. We tipped all of our savings into it, and we had a 2-month runway. So it was grind, hustle, make it work, and get it to a point where we can be really wealthy. Yeah. As my kids, I've got a 3-year-old and now a 7-month-old, as they start to become older, I can feel that purpose will shift of, yes, make money, but also make money whilst having a sustainable weekly cadence where I can actually spend time with them. It's not just make money and be the dad that works 60 hours a week, is never home for dinner. You know, my partner feels rejected. Like that purpose has changed. So I'd love to know for myself and listeners, how can we find that purpose and actually validate it and be aware of it potentially if it's changing or if we're not aligned.
Can I ask you some questions?
Yes,
let's go.
Let's
do the question. I'll answer one part to your part, then we'll do the questions. So there's values and then there's purpose. So your values are areas of life that fulfill you, which come from voids. Some people think values are things like control, freedom, honesty, loyalty, integrity. Those are not values. They're actually trauma responses. We can talk about that afterwards, but it's a big conversation. Values are areas of life that fulfill you. Family, business, wealth, learning, travel, experiences, coaching, fitness, health, all those things. Yeah. And they come from voids. You didn't have them, or it wasn't to the level you wanted it, so now you want it. So I had a void around money. I want to make money. I had a void around coaching or mentorship. For me, my father, because he didn't communicate with me and connect with me the way that I wanted back then. I had a void around relationships. I told you to struggle to connect with friends. I have a high value in relationships. So whatever was a void or a perceived void for you becomes your values, and your values shift over time. So that's to your point. They do shift over time. Your core wound for me will not shift. I haven't worked with clients for decades yet, so again, I might change my beliefs at that point. But for me, your core wound is your core wound. So the shining light, the Northern Star purpose, that for me won't shift. Your values do shift over time though. So parenting's coming into my values now because I'm getting ready for kids too. So I'm thinking about kids. I'm fucking reading books over it. So that value is shifting, but my purpose is still the same. So purpose is big shining light, big Northern Star we're going to head towards. Your values are the areas that you fulfill along the way, and values do shift over time. Does that make sense?
That's what I feel. Perfect. Massively.
All right. I want to find your purpose, gents.
Yeah, that's my next question, to be honest. I'm struggling to give myself the answer.
Right. So for the listeners as well, pause the video when you need to, because I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to take down some notes for you guys. So, gentlemen, close down your eyes for me. And I
love this shit.
If it does help out, put one hand on your heart as well. I want you to take a deep breath into your heart. Now, I want you just keep your eyes closed. Just remove any judgment from your answers for the questions I'm about to ask you. Let them come through for you without judgment. Just let them flow through you. Whatever is the first word that comes up for you, it is perfect. Take a big breath in. I'm going to be using your parents. This does not mean you don't love your parents. You might love them to this day. You might have the best relationship with them. Just answer the questions as it comes up. So we'll start with whoever wants to answer first, actually. Take a big breath in. One word answer. What is the one thing that you wish you got from your dad, but you didn't get?
Attention.
Time.
Fantastic. Now take a big breath in. What is the one thing that you most wanted from your mum, but you didn't get?
Tough love.
Say that in one word if you can.
Discipline.
There we go.
What's the opposite to discipline?
So what's the one thing that you got from mum that you didn't want?
Oh, what I did get and didn't want, or didn't get but would have wanted?
I actually asked both questions.
Okay, got ya.
I forgot which one I asked.
So what I didn't get but would?
Yeah, so what did you not get but you most wanted? Trust whatever word comes up.
What's the opposite to discipline?
Freedom.
So this is its discerning question. You will have different answers compared to the person.
Yeah. But
Could
for
be
me,
acceptance.
For me, it's freedom.
Freedom. Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, we'll do the reverse question. What is the one thing that you wanted from dad, but you didn't get? You most wanted from dad, but you didn't get?
I think we did that the first time.
All right. My apologies. I did. It's been a while. So take a breath in. What's the thing that you got from dad that you didn't want?
Tough love.
Perfect. Say that in one word if you can.
Mm.
What's tough love in one word?
Harshness.
Harshness. Perfect.
So the question again?
Yep. So what's the one thing that you got from dad that you didn't want? Mine was anger, as an example.
Inconsistency.
Cool. Well done. Last question. Let's write this. Now, what is the one thing that you got from mum that you didn't want? Tough questions, eh?
Especially, yeah, because, yeah.
One thing you wanted from mum. Sorry. One thing you got from mum that you didn't want.
That's a tough one.
Tough. If you had to answer it, what would it be? Take a big breath in. What is the one thing that you got from mum that you didn't want?
Stubbornness.
Stubbornness. Fantastic. Yeah.
Softness. Oh, no. I know you can ask for one word. I'm trying to think of like a lack of confidence.
Insecure.
Yeah.
Is that right for you?
I get my mum. Not towards me, but in terms of how she
That's
was.
fine.
Yeah.
Is that your answer?
Mm.
Perfect. So what was it? Insecure. Now, this is the hardest question. So I'll go Harvey. I'll do you first. Say all of these in one word. So say the theme of these words. Time, freedom, harshness, stubbornness. What's the theme of those words? Use one word. 1 to 2 words if you need to. And I'll be asking you the same one, Adam, if you want to start thinking. Yours is attention, discipline, inconsistency, insecurity. It may be one of the words. So one of those words might be the answer.
So repeat mine again.
Yours was time, freedom, harshness, stubbornness.
Control.
Fantastic. Good answer.
Again, sorry, mate. Say mine again.
Attention, discipline, inconsistency, insecurity. You can open your eyes, by the way, once you're done.
Wait, leadership.
Leadership. Awesome. So these are your core wounds. So your core wounds are around control. So when people control you, you don't like it.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
So what's the opposite of control? What's the opposite word to control?
Well, freedom.
Cool. So you try to give people freedom and have a life of freedom.
Yeah. That's spot on.
Your core wounds leadership. So you had pain around bad leadership. So you try to be seen as a great leader, don't you?
Like, yes and no. I don't like leading. I don't like the pressure of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you had pain around it?
No, it's more the pressure of it. I think, which comes back to then the consistency to have to be seen as the leader.
Cool.
Whereas if you haven't got the leadership responsibilities, you can have an off day and not feel like you're affecting anyone else.
Love it. All right. So last deeper question for you guys. So close your eyes. Take a big breath in. Last deeper one, then we can get out of this one. What is the earliest memory of your theme? So for you, Harvey, control. Earliest or most painful memory of that theme. Normally it's between the ages of 3 to 10. Same for you, Adam. Earliest memory of that, most painful memory of that. So poor leadership or whatever bad leadership was for you, whether it be dad, mum, whoever it may be. Got your memory?
Got it.
How old are you?
Probably 5.
5? Awesome. If you're comfortable saying, what was it?
Yeah, sure. Might make people laugh. I was out on the street riding my bike, like been out playing all day, came off my bike, smashed my knees up, like had a meltdown as a 5-year-old would.
Yep.
Came through the meltdown, wanted to get back on the bike, keep playing.
Yep.
It was real early, 5 p.m. I was forced to go to bed.
Yeah, awesome. Okay,
I was
close your eyes. Close your eyes. In that moment when you're forced to go to bed, when you had the control, take a big breath in, get really present. In that exact moment when there was control, what did you need in that moment? What do you wish you got in that moment? One word answers.
Trust.
Beautiful. Keep going. Just list them out. It goes many as you can. So trust. What else? What else? What else? What else did you need in that exact moment when you had that control, when people controlled you?
Space.
Space. Perfect. Go again. Keep sitting with it. Take a big breath in. I'll just get yours rolling, Adam. So what was your memory? How old were you? Earliest memory of this theme being painful?
About 10, 11. He's played massive football. I mean, I was a good player, which you think is every dad's kid's dream.
Yep.
Came to watch my second ever game because he got dragged there by my mum's parents. And I just remember him just being like, what a waste of time. I don't want to be it.
Close your eyes for me. In that exact moment when it was painful, what a waste of time. In that exact moment, take a breath in. What did you need in that exact moment, or what did you wish you got in that exact moment? One word answers.
A role model.
Role model, keep going. Well done. What else?
Pride and someone to be proud.
Proud, awesome. Go again. If you have more answers, by the way, throw them over to me. Go more.
So now trying to think.
We're at the same point, so just throw your answers to me.
Yeah.
What else did you need? So you got role model, pride, or proud. What else did you need?
To be led.
Led, awesome. Leadership. Well done. What else? What did you need? What did you need, Harvey?
Education.
Education, well done. What else? This making sense for you? Get one more answer each, and then I'll wrap this up. What else did you need in that exact moment?
To find words that aren't just repeating what I've said.
Yeah. What else did you wish you got? What were you craving in that exact moment when it was painful? So when you felt controlled, what do you wish you had? What do you wish you received? What are you craving in that moment? And for you?
There's two ways I'm going. One's connection.
Connection, fantastic.
And then the other one is to not have to have grown up as quick as I did.
Cool. So say that one word.
Like mature. Less maturity or less...
expression. That sounds like expression to me. To express it.
Yeah, more expression, more... I just have to put into one word.
That's good. One more for you. Space, trust.
Sounds funny because I was 5 years old, backing to make the decision, backing to make my own decision.
So, cool. Backing. Yeah, backing is fun.
As in like belief. Like I was like, I wanted to go back out on the bike because I was good.
Encouragement.
I was like,
encouragement.
Yeah, almost encouragement or trust to go, go. Like just like trust in that decision and judgment from me.
I won't do the next steps because it's more like a sit down and sit with it process, but I'll just give you a summarized version. So you become who you needed when you're at your lowest. So you've become someone who allows to trust others, to give others space, to help educate, to back them and encourage them. How do you then give that back to the world? And now you're doing that with your kids, aren't you? Yeah. And then that will always be the lighthouse. You move towards that. And then how do you then build a lifestyle that allows you to express that to the highest degree that you can? And that might be parenting. Do you love educating your kids? And trusting them and backing them and encouraging them.
Even within our friends group, like we back, like one of our mates has just ran South Korea, the top to bottom. I was on a run with him. He told me this idea. I was like, you're fucking doing it. A couple of other mates have created Instagram accounts because they want to change careers. And I'm like, I've been the one that sat there on the Hormozy GPT doing the plan, like go and do it. And even the new business that we shared with you, it's about education for people to gain their own freedom. So a lot of people are doing their purpose unconsciously. If you follow, so great lesson. If you never see this again or talk about this again, when you get tears of inspiration, so you get tears in your eyes, you feel really inspired. You are seeing or doing or experiencing a piece of your purpose. So those things that you just said, it's like say your kid come up to you and say, "Dad, thank you so much for trusting me and backing me. You've taught me so much, and you trust me so much. Thank you." You probably fucking cry your eyes out. I felt it then.
And you don't need motivation to do that.
No way.
The need for motivation is a symptom of an uninspired goal. So imagine having all your goals in alignment with that.
Unstoppable.
You don't need the fuck, I'm not enough to do this. Again, it helps us at the start because we don't know this shit. Anyway, I want to hear your answer. So, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah.
So role model, proud, leading or being led, connection and expression. So you love to help others feel connected, to help them express themselves, to be a good leader, even though you might have insecurity. And this is actually a good point. So what you're most inspired by, you're generally most insecure about. So you like being a leader, but you're insecure about it.
Yeah. Don't like the pressure of it unless it's going really well.
Yeah.
And then I'm happy to be it.
Yeah. So it's that dance of like, I'm so inspired by it, but I'm so insecure at the same time. So your values is where you're most insecure. My highest value is coaching. I'm most insecure about being a coach.
Yeah.
But that insecurity makes you work on it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a pretty good coach, but I'm also insecure about it. You are a great leader, brother, but you just judge yourself when you're not.
Because you like leading by example, like in the work that he does. And I know that when he hasn't got massive fees on the board.
When being a role model, right? That was one of your answers. To be led, to be a role model, expression. So helping others express who they are and connecting with them along the way. So again, if you like build your life around when what you do is the greatest expression of who you are, you do your life's best work. Now, it doesn't mean go monetize it. That's the part. It's like you don't have to build a business doing that. I happen to be doing that. I used to run gyms, as you know, that part of my background. It's like, were the gyms the ultimate expression of who I was? No, it's just where I started. It's like, it was just like start with what you've got. And that led me down that pathway. But was I like so inspired to do it? No, but I wanted to pay the bills and I wanted to achieve some goals. So that's what got me to do that. I don't need motivation to do this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, hope that
Fuck me, we put ourselves through the ringer on this podcast, don't we? For the listeners.
Fuck, that was awesome.
Yeah. It's really good. I love
Quite tiring.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of tears at my events.
Yeah.
And a lot of like, but you feel lighter afterwards. As well.
Yeah.
Like, lift the weight off.
No, it's good to unpack that kind of the motivation, why you do it, and how you can make it more sustainable.
Yep.
And it does kind of segue onto another thing that you've shared in your story before, which I'd love to explore and you to share on so people can perhaps relate to it. And I've definitely done this in some senses, and it's self-sabotage.
Yep.
Can you tell us, because you started with gyms, you were very early when you got into business, you did extremely well. You had 3 gyms, if I'm right.
Yep.
And then you shared that you went into a bit of a self-sabotage mode in all areas of life.
Yeah, bang on. So there's 4 main answers to that question. Number 1 is you're just not doing what you want to do. That's like kind of the obvious one. It's the values or purpose. It's like whenever you hear the words, you have to, you ought to, you got to, you should, you must, you're supposed to, someone or something is projecting their beliefs on values onto someone else. If you go up and say, hey, you should open a gym, and you're like, I don't really want to. It's like, and parents do this a lot. Religion does this a lot. Society does this a lot. So firstly, it's like when people say, I'm not sure if I want to do it, it's like, oh, I'm self-sabotaging. Well, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. Do you actually want to do that? No, my mum's making me do it. It's like, don't fucking do it. Like that's the first one. So that would be like, are you actually in alignment with who you are and what you want to achieve? Second can be trauma. So you unconsciously protect yourself from being seen as or experiencing your trauma again. So you don't like to be controlled. You'll get triggered by control. And so when your partner or kids or anyone, team members try to control you, you won't like it. And you don't want to be seen as someone who's controlling. So say, for example, you needed to lead the team to do something, to do a task or whatever, you would unconsciously not want to come across as a controlling person. But there's a time and place where control is good. There's actually no such thing as a bad trait. It's a different conversation. So trauma is one of them. Beliefs is the other one. So it's like, I'm not enough. I'm too much. I'm stupid. I'm a loser. I'm going to fail. So those beliefs reinforce the behaviors. And then 4th is strategy. That's where it's hormozy. It's like, I had a client. She was a coach, like a million coaches on the Gold Coast. So you guys probably figure that out as of now. Very few of them doing well. But she's like, oh, I just keep sabotaging my sales. I'm like, okay, what do you mean by that? She's like, I'm just not making enough sales. I'm like, okay, how many lead messages are you sending per week? It's like 3. I'm like, mate. I'm like, I said, you need to be doing, if you want this, I suggest doing 100 messages per day because 3% of any marketplace is ready to buy. So you speak to 3 people in 7 days. Chances are none of them are actually interested. So it's like her strategy was just way off. So it could be just the strategy, just running east looking for a sunset. So the strategy's off. You got some belief that's in there. I'm not enough. I'm too much. I'm stupid. I'm not safe. Everyone leaves me. The world is evil. Trauma is my favorite one. So I kind of default to that, but I just like to see what it is. My goal, a lot of the stuff I do with clients is to the degree you resist reality is the degree that you suffer. And I love that quote. It kind of puts my work into a quote. So any resistance that we experience, self-judgment, anxiety, fear, stress, overwhelm, outside of real survival. So if a tiger rolls in here, we're all going to get triggered. We're all going to have resistance to either I'll jump out the window. Like you would have resistance to survive. So anything, Peter Crone has this great quote. He says, if it's not life-threatening, it's just ego-threatening.
Nice.
So ego is human identity. So if you're actually in survival, that makes sense. We have survival instincts, fight, flight, freeze. So outside of fight or flight, any resistance is you. Now the game is what's causing it. And that's the game I'm playing. So I'm just like being a mirror. So you might have heard life's a mirror and relationships are close mirrors to you and kids are very close mirrors to you. So I'm just a very conscious mirror. So like when you're saying things, I'm hearing, oh, you probably got wounds there, you got resistance there, and I'm just zooming into it. Then once we find it, we want to address it with a process, a modality or a tool or something like NLP or timeline therapy or whatever the thing is. Remove the root cause to the resistance, and then the resistance goes away. You probably understand the theory of constraints. I hear that a lot with business. Yeah. So a business or system grows to its lowest constraint. A human grows to their lowest constraint. So it'll either be a skill. Again, you're just doing the wrong fucking thing. You're not doing what you want to. So you're like procrastinating, hesitating, not wanting to, making excuses, doing everything else, cleaning the fucking house besides doing the thing that you are projecting that you should be doing. Beliefs or trauma. We just want to zoom in. What is that actual thing that's causing it? Address it. The resistance goes away. So that's what I look at for self-sabotage.
What's the transformation you see of people? Say your perfect client, like you've got in your head now, who's came and seen you in one place at start, point A, and then you've left them at point Z, and the transformation has been incredible. Talk us through what that would have looked like, because it must be pretty impressive.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram @Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app.
I love it. emotional with my work. So we do a 3-day event. I'll answer your question, but I'll do a segue. So we run a 3-day event and we do my balancing process, favorite process. It's like DeMartini, if you've heard of him, John DeMartini. I've actually got him on my podcast on Thursday. So I'm excited for another chat with him. And I'm a DeMartini facilitator. I love his work. Big fan. Some limitations to it, but absolutely huge fan of his work. I have my balancing process, which is built on his work. So I use his technique with other techniques on top of it. And it's essentially how to heal trauma. So we do a trauma process on day 2 of our 3-day event. And I'm like walking around and I've got like a set of questions and you ask the questions. I have the breakthrough and like people just like start like crying right in front of you of like healing tears and gratitude tears. Like one of them at the recent one, like her mum did something bad and she's like, I'd say, I love you, mum. I love you, mum. And just start like doing it. I'm just like crying with them. I'm like, and then I'd walk to the next person and do the same thing. So I'm just like on ecstasy for like an hour. I'm just like walking around like, this is fucking amazing. So 2 that came up, one that I use a lot, her name's this kind of like the overachiever. I've got that example, which I'll say second. And then I've got someone who's struggling. So they're kind of the 2 people I attract, like people that are like, I can't get out my own way. I'm struggling. I'm in a bad place. I can't even get started. Or I'm overachieving, but insecure. They're kind of like the 2 and everyone in between that. So the one down the other end, Kel, I absolutely love her. So big T trauma. She was sexually abused by her dad for 6 years, sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally. I've shared the testimony a few times and she did the process and I'll try memorize what she said. She said, to say I love my dad, so I'll quote something first, anything outside of love and gratitude is a lopsided perception. So if you can't genuinely have love or gratitude for anything or anyone, you have some resentment or resistance there. It hasn't been healed yet. This doesn't mean you accept poor behaviors. Some people take that to the extreme, but it just means the poison within you is gone. The hurt within you is gone. So she said, to say I love my dad is something I never thought could ever be possible. After 30 years of trauma therapy, I've never, hasn't worked. So 30 years, 3 decades of trying to heal it, never healed it. But right now, I'm so grateful for what he did for me. And even people hearing this, it sounds, how can you say that for a dad who abused their child? It's hard to comprehend it. Pain, purpose, wounds, wisdom. When you get to, I wouldn't be the healer I am if my dad didn't hurt me the way that he did. My dad punched holes in walls, beat up my brother, beat up mum. And if it wasn't for the pain, I wouldn't have the gifts and purpose that I have today. Now, it doesn't mean that I allow that and you encourage that behavior, but it's integrating the wounds that you have from that. Does that make sense? So that's that end. Then probably Caitlin. I've been with her for a while. So I'm still working with Caitlin to this day. So she was in a business where she was kind of the mercenary. She was like, I think it was physios or something. Like she was like building clinics. Like she's in the Hormozy world. Like she bought the book launch upsell. She was in like the upsells. She was like in the big one and super high achiever, super fit in a relationship that wasn't healthy. Like it was like screaming it's your fault one day and then it's like all perfect the next day. Like she was not in a good relationship, but she struggled to back herself. She struggled to actually follow what she wanted to do because she was like, she's into healing. She's actually very similar to what I want to do, what I'm doing, where she wanted to help women heal their feminine wounds or their masculine wounds. She wanted to be of impact. She's into yoga, she's into spirituality, but she just didn't back herself to do that because she was caught up in the missionary thing. So she's probably one that comes to mind because we did a lot of inner work and a lot of healing, but now she's actually in her business doing what she wants to do. So I think the client that does the most amount of work with me are people who eventually make money with their purpose. Nice. That's kind of the longest one, but some people just come in, they're like, killing business and I'm on the right path and this is making money, but I got some shit from childhood. Let's just clean that up and you'll perform better. You'll have less mental loops. All those, any shit you haven't resolved yet, you think about it. That's why you randomly think about dad, think about mum, think about the ex-partner, think about the person that, whatever. That's you ruminate on any unprocessed shit. So we are homeostatic humans, meaning we want to come into balance. So remember osmosis back in high school? So it wants to come into equilibrium. Your mind wants to. So if you have a fight with someone, you keep fucking thinking about it. Trying to process it. If you've got shit from childhood, which we all do, we all have some level to it, that will keep ruminating, which takes up mental space, energy bandwidth, and all your creative energy. It's siphoning your energy out of what you could be putting it into. So it's either those high achievers who they're good with their model, they're good with their business, they just want to keep crushing it and just have more fulfillment, or it's someone who's like, I actually want to give my gift back to the world. They're kind of the 2 clients I work with.
How did you get to that point then? So because you are 23, super successful. You know, multiple gyms, multiple businesses.
Externally.
Yes, externally. And then what happened to you internally? Because before you knew all this, obviously, you can tell you've absolutely binged on all of this content and you live and breathe it because it's your purpose. Yeah. But before you knew all that, I'm thinking now for a listener who's thinking I'm stuck in that rut, I've got this trauma, I don't know how to heal it or how to process it, but I know I need to change. What was your journey with that to then go, I'm selling the gyms, I'm getting rid of it, and I'm going to start again?
They kind of all came together at the one time. So it's like there was the external forces of like COVID and the gym franchise was with, I think there was about 20 franchisees and there was about 16 lawsuits back to the franchise. Oh. So it wasn't very, and I was like best mates with the franchisor. So, and one of my business partners was trying to sue him and I got caught in the middle of it. It was a fucking shit fight. So there was that sort of external stuff happening. And then I was getting introduced to the deeper stuff like DeMartini, plant medicine, spirituality, trauma and all that stuff, purpose, core wounds, all that. So I like started to, everyone has that internal compass within them that's leading them towards their vision, their destiny. That's the tiers of inspiration. Those are the breadcrumbs. They're the breadcrumbs leading you towards where you want to go. I was becoming aware of it, but I just wasn't following through with it because I was caught up with like the external noise. Just a side tangent. A lot of people do that with work. They don't want to feel all their shit, so they keep working. I used to do that. I caught myself once actually. I had a tough conversation I had with my wife and I was just too insecure to have it. So I just went to the office and kept working. Yeah. I'm like, I'm just going to go on the fucking computer and like, I don't want to talk to her about this. I'm too scared to do this. I'm just going to fucking work. So anyways, your question was, how did I get into that? I got introduced to DeMartini. He's probably shifted the way I view the world the most from like a psychological fulfillment aspect. He's probably given me a lot of the awareness and tools of how to do that. But I was still in the gyms at that time. I hit a breaking point. So I had the 3 gyms. And when you say externally, it looked pretty good. Like the gyms were like on sand. Like the foundations were dog shit. Like I was key person risk in 2 of them. And my business partner was like, fucking, I had to babysit her too. So it's like, it was not a good, I would literally wake up 4 a.m., take classes at one gym, work through the day, admin, lead, sales, all the shit, then go take sessions at another gym just to keep the ball rolling and do that Monday to Sunday. So I was like, and it was like, spinning every fucking plate.
It's a tough industry.
It's tough, man. It was tough. Anyway, so the gym came to like a head when all those like lawsuits were going on. I got to a point where we had me and my business partner, who was the franchisor, me and him were partners at one of the gyms. And we just got to a point where we butt heads a lot. Like I viewed one thing, he viewed the other. And I said, bro, let's just like, we've got a great friendship. Let's not ruin it. Let's just sell the thing. You can have it. Oh, sorry. We found a buyer to do it. Went through the whole bind. If you've sold a business before, like pain in the ass, like heaps of like documents, lawyers, due diligence. It like takes fucking ages to do it. Took us 12 months to put the whole thing together, sign the document. There was a cooling off period, 2 days left in the cooling off period. Got the phone call and you know where it's going. I shared it in my book. I was walking and it's like, you know, when you feel like something doesn't feel right. I look and it's the person's name and I'm like,
done.
I'm like, I started to like cry before I even answered the phone. I said, hey man, like what's going on? He's like, bro, this business is not what you told us it was. We're out. We're done. And I just collapsed to the ground because I was like living off 4 hours sleep. My relationship was rocky. I was externally I looked good, but internally I was like not good. I was insecure, super anxious, living off fuck all sleep. I was doing all the spinning and I'm like, fuck, let's get our jail free card for the business. Getting sold, like this will make it easier. Then I'll just have 2 businesses to fucking sort out. And then that happened. And literally that day I called my business partner, told him what happened and said, bro, what do you want to do? And I was like, bro, I just can't handle it. Just have it. Just have the gym. It was probably worth 200 grand, but arguably I was key person risk, so probably worth nothing. But just gave it to him and I just said, I can't handle it. Then COVID happened. Then we went through COVID with 2 gyms. That was sick. And then my business partner was trying to sue the franchise at the same time. So I was caught in that. And in this time, I'm like, I want to do this coaching thing. Like I want to go over here. This is like, I'm pulled. I want to go there, but I've got all this reality shit to sort out. Went through COVID, ended up selling that gym and sold it back to the franchise. And I got like nothing for like 40 grand, which is not a lot for a fucking gym. So 40, like, and it was not a good deal. And then I was just done. I was just like, I've got my vision. I want to go this way. And then I had already scouted myself out of the 3rd one. And that was actually doing well because I owned it myself. So I'm open to business partners, but I'm like, I preferred not having business partners because I had some 2 pretty average experiences. I just didn't do it right. But yeah, so I had one, it was doing well, we were profitable, making 2-3 grand a week, and I did nothing. I had 1 hour a week just to look over the numbers and shit. And I'm like, okay, fuck, I can breathe. I'm like, holy fuck, there's been 7 years of like grinding. What do I want to do? I literally did a plant medicine ceremony. So I do mushrooms I used to do every quarter, now I do it every 6 months, 12 months. Did one over Christmas, rock solid.
Nice.
And I just do it to reset. And I just sat down and like, what do I want to do? What's my path? And it's like, you know, you already know the answer. Like you don't need mushrooms or psychedelics to listen. It just amplifies the message, I guess. And it was just like, you know exactly where to go. You know where you're heading. And so I started that. That was about 3.5 years ago. And now I've just been doing the coaching thing. I think I had resistance because I came from a franchise where they told you the system and what to do and everything, where it's like, this is now my business. I don't know my offers. How do I market? I was posting content, so I understood sort of marketing and content a little bit, but I didn't know how to like build the actual system and ecosystem of offers for that said business. But yeah, that was my journey into it, man, and been doing that for about 3.5 years now and loving it.
The growth in that time has been massive. Am I right in thinking you've got nearly 1 million or over 1 million followers across all platforms?
Just shy. 985. So close.
Very close.
Where was the U shape in that? Like, where was the point where it just took off, and why did it take off?
There was one post, and it was a quote. It was just like, and it wasn't like fucking 100,000 like that. It was just like, it went really well compared to everything else. I'm very much, I like Gary Vee's analogy, baseball. It's like you can hit a home run 1, 2, or 3 bases. He just always aims for a first base. So all my content is like, get another 5 followers, get another 10 followers, get another 20. And then you will eventually hit a home run because you're paying attention. So like a lot of my posts, I'll get like an extra 10 followers, an extra 100 followers, extra whatever. I remember, I think it was a Christmas one. It was just like, it was along the lines of like, for everyone who's like, hasn't got great relationships with ever, like just enjoy your Christmas period. Like don't be so hard on yourself and just try to get through Christmas. And it got like 30,000 likes off it. And I normally get like 1,000, like if that. And so that was the first one. That was years ago. That was like maybe 5 years ago now. I think the algorithm, it does shift, and there was a sweet spot because I'm growing slower than what I used to. There was a period about 2 years ago where my style and the algorithm matched up really well. So photo quotes, I do a ton of quotes. So I post 2 quotes and 2 reels a day on Instagram, and then I've got a team who distribute it elsewhere. And there was just a sweet spot where reels were just starting to become popular, 90-second reels, because I can get a pretty solid little message done in about 90 seconds. 3 minutes is good as well. I like it now. And photo quotes were the shit. And it just, the organic reach went through the roof. Like I'd post 1 quote and gain 5,000 followers. So it's like I'm not blaming the algorithm because I wish it was still the same, but you got to grow with it. I'm still growing with it. So we're still growing, but we're growing by like 500 new followers a day, where I was getting like 5,000 followers a day. So I was like, that was sick. So the algorithm and my style matched at a really nice point in time. And that's where I think I gained 100,000 or 150,000 in 90 days. So it was like the sort of peak of my growth. And then it's like obviously adapting with the algorithm changes along the way. So it's just accumulation. So it wasn't like this one video changed everything. It was just like
the reps.
It's just the reps. And then eventually like some go off, and then you'll learn like some hooks work really well and some ones work with your avatar and all that stuff. So I do rewash certain hooks. Like I post the same video multiple times. But yeah, just a lot of reps.
What does a week look like for you now? Like, how have you structured your life in terms of being in your genius and in line with your purpose and your values? What part of the business do you spend your time on, and what part do you outsource or delegate?
Yeah, great question. So I joke with I reckon you guys would do the same. If you guys looked at like my audience and like the potential with my audience to like how much I'm monetizing right now, it's like I'm leaving. You'd probably throw up. You're like, fuck, you could be doing so much more right now. I'm like trying to find the sweet spot of like, how do I do what I love and monetize it and not create a business I don't want to build. That's like the resistance I've got, and that's probably like from the hustle side. It's like I've got the muscle in me. It's like if like we can't pay the bills next week, it's like I'll just go in. Like I've got the kill mode in me where you just fucking go in and get it done. So I'm trying to find that balance right now of what does an inspiring week look like to me? What does a great week look like to me? I think the podcast is definitely part of it. So that's why that's come into me. I love coaching, but it's how do you scale the coaching in a way that gives you the impact, the income, and the lifestyle. So my vision is Joe Dispenza level of retreats. Like he releases his tickets to his email list. In 15 minutes, they sell out. And they're $5,000 tickets, 3,000 people. Like he doesn't need to do funnels and all that stuff. He's like, his brand is so fucking good because it's Joe Dispenza. So I want to have retreats because I do like the in-person stuff. As much as I like my home life and I'm like a hermit crab at home, I do like connecting with people and getting to know people in person. So that's one side that I want to work on and building the business towards that. But then I had the resistance because I worked with Kerwin Ray. He was like, he changed my life. I haven't actually mentioned him in the story yet, but he changed my life. So I was in his mastermind for 3 years. He's like, best apprenticeship for business on the planet. He introduced me to spirituality, into healing, because I was still the hustle porn person back then. So he opened my eyes to psychedelics, into healing, into how to build a proper fucking business back then. And fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Inspiring week, what's the business want to look like?
I saw Kerwin and he taught me key person risk, but it's like he was key person risk, and unfortunately he did pass. And it's like I saw that I'm like, I want to run events but I don't want to have to run events to pay my bills.
Yeah.
So, because what if I get sick? We've got a kid. We literally cancelled the first third of this year with no events, so I can just be present with baby. Because, but I'm like, what if I'm like, fuck, I won't be able to pay the rent if I don't run the event? I didn't want that. So I said, how do I build like an online presence? Because I got the audience for it. How do I monetize this in a sustainable way, which it pays the bills? I don't have to do any sales calls, and then run the events because they're fucking sick and just make them fun. So that's what I'm trying to work towards. What does it look like? I film content a few times a week. The podcast is pretty fresh. So I literally had one yesterday. So that's like just sort of ramping into it now. I do some onboarding calls for clients. I'm going to phase that out this year. I think I'm done with the onboarding calls. I'll shift it to like group calls instead. I do a lot of learning. So I like to learn because obviously sharpen up the axe and grow. But in the morning, I don't do any calls until 12. So that's like, it's kind of the manager versus maker calendar. So I am a maker at heart. So like I'm the artist. It's like the technician, the manager, the leader, the entrepreneur. I'm a big technician. I'm an art. I just like to paint. I like to coach. I like to come up with new courses and new masterclasses and new processes and stuff. So I give myself until 12 o'clock each day where no one can book into my calendar unless it's like a specific person or whatever's going on. From 12 onwards, onboarding calls can happen if they book in for them. I guess it depends what I'm working on. At the moment, I'm working on live videos because live videos is where I've actually made a lot of my sales over the last couple of years. Just go live, answer some questions, say, hey, you want to work with me? Come join. Like I've made probably 80% of my sales for school. I've got a school platform. It's come from live videos. So
live on Insta.
Just go live. Instagram and TikTok. They're my two biggest platforms.
And just answer questions.
Sometimes I have a topic. If you put certain words, they get different people in there. So I'll just go on, hey guys, I'm just going to teach you about this. I'll do like the trigger hit list. So it's not the same as what I just did with you guys, but I can do it with you guys soon if you want to. It's like you do a trigger hit list and you get them to see that's the shit you keep attracting into your relationships. And then how do you solve that? Come work with me. So I'll like answer questions. I'll do a belief process. So you can remove limiting beliefs in seconds. It's really easy to do once you know how to do it. And then I'll do that. And like, oh my God, this is amazing. If you want to come work with me, come work with me. So I actually had this chat literally today. In my head, I'm like, I want to build a business where I don't have to do live videos to make sales. And the podcast has been the answer, but the podcast isn't cranking yet. So I'm like in this like transition where I'm like, stop being a fucking bitch, Lewis, and just do live videos. So like, that's the shut.
And that'll then drive the body anyway, right?
Yeah. So it's like, this is where Hormozy's good. Fuck the mood, follow the plan. And I'm like, don't be cute. Just like do the fucking work. So I've been like, I know where I'm heading. If it works out, hopefully it works out, where the podcast will drive acquisition for me. So all I do is just run a banger podcast, great guests, some call to actions throughout the podcast. It takes care of it. But right now I'm in that sort of build up stage. So like I need to do some more live videos to get that doing. But yeah, I literally had that chat with a mate today. He's like, bro, just stop being a bitch.
Do you announce the live calls? You go, I'm going live in 24 hours or you just go bang, bang?
I was on Hormozy AI. I paid for it too. And I'm like, how do you do it? He's like, mate, put a calendar, put it live, send it to your list and get it going. Because I used to do it just randomly. I used to do it every day. Like I built my school up to like 300 members in like 9 to 12 months. I was just going live every day. Just answering questions, doing some Q&A. Hey, you want to work with me? Come try it. It's a free trial. Don't like it? Get out of it. Yeah. So
in terms of building your list then, let's get deep and nitty gritty into actually that kind of email marketing side of it. What's your strategy there? Have you had one?
You're going to be blown how shit I am with this. So
that's good to hear though, right? Because we're fucking miles off with that.
It's like a new business to us, like from what we're doing.
So I did Sabri Subi. So I worked with him. So he was one of the mentors I worked with. I replicated his business model and I started making a ton of cash, but they weren't doing the program, so that's why I shifted. But
like his Godfather offer and things like that. That's what he said, the 3%. That's great market theory.
Nice.
Got you. You guys, you're seeing what I'm seeing. So I did his quantum growth program. So I think it was like 10 grand and it's just like a self-paced program. And I literally watched a YouTube video, booked in for a call because I read all Russell Brunson's books and I'm like, perfect webinar, put it together, made the webinar. And then I'm like, how the fuck do I get traffic? And then I went to YouTube, typed in webinar. Sabri Subi came up. He's like, webinars are broken or don't work anymore. I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, good hook. So I watched that. I'm like, fuck, he's so right. So I booked him for a call, jumped on the call within 20 minutes and paid him 10 grand. I'm like, that's a sick business model. I'm like, one time, 10 grand and never talks to me again. I'm like, let's just do that. So I changed my business to, I was doing like weird like 6-week programs. I don't like doing that anymore. To like a high ticket course where I jump on a call, private coaching or the self-paced course, 5 grand, which one do you want? And I was making like 100 grand a month. I was going ham on that, but I was just doing a fuckload of calls, like 30 calls a week, just like booking them all in. But then they weren't doing the course. And I'm like, I want people to get the impact. This is not just for money. I want people to actually get the impact. So how do I shift my business model around? And school had just come out. Hormozy hadn't bought into it yet. It's funny because like Hormozy is always there. Always there. And a mentor of mine suggested to start school to have the community and the continuity and actually get them to consume it if that's your goal. And then Hormozy bought in like 3 months later. I was like, this is sick. This is cool. So In terms of like email marketing, I've got Sabri's Magic Lantern sequence. If you know, it's essentially like an onboarding sequence for new people that opt in. So I think they get one every day or every second day for 10 days or something, or 12 days. I think there's 7 emails in there. I used Hermosa's AI to rewrite the whole thing recently.
Yeah,
Actually, I did that over the break. So they opt in either for a masterclass. I don't have many lead magnets right now. I probably should have more, but I don't really have any at the moment. I've got a book on Amazon. I wish Amazon, you could connect it somewhere to like get their details. I wish that was the case, but they don't. We try to figure that out because then you can wholesale it and get a different provider to do the book so you can collect them and retarget. We went down that path. They're just going to be fucked doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do a masterclass normally every month. I've got one literally on Thursday. I normally get sort of 500 people register for that.
Huge.
Then, show rates are so shit on masterclasses. Yeah. I'm sure it can be better, but it's like 10 to 20%. So you have like 500, you have like 50, maybe 100 of them show. Normally sell sort of 20% into school, add value to them, get them to join. Then I run events and we do those. Last year was our first year doing them. We run 2 one-day events and then we sell into a 3-day event. And we normally we're averaging about 100 people in the room for the one-day events. We're really cool. And they're like $17. We do the purpose process of what we did then, but a lot deeper than that. And we do the belief process. Then I sell them into the 3-day event. Then what else do I do? And then I do private coaching. And that's just for like people that have a bigger budget and they just want, hey, just do it for me. Just hurry up. I had a cool client. He's down south. He does like 9 figures a year. And he's just like, bro, I don't want to watch your videos. Just do it for me. I'm like, yep, no worries. Let's do it.
But that's the thing at that level, right? The speed and the timing of it, it makes more than anything waste.
How do you see parenthood changing or coming into this mix?
I'm going through it right now, man. So it's pretty fresh. Yeah, I'm still gathering my thoughts. I'll sort of just speak vaguely, but I think it's really conflicting what's out there. Like I did one post on it and I've done like no post on parenting. I just said, hey, I just want to make a post about what I've learned so far. Like we did a hypnobirthing class, which is really cool. Like how to use hypnosis during birth for the woman and how the partner can support that. And then the vaccines conversation, probably shouldn't talk about that, but it's like, I literally just set it in there and say, hey guys, do your own research for this. And like people just like slam you for it. So
we didn't vaccinate or anything either.
Yeah. And we're not going, well, as of right now, we're not going to.
Yeah.
Like how the system's built around that. Like if you don't do it, you don't get certain benefits from the government. I'm like, bro, like
it's another podcast altogether.
It's a whole conversation, man. So yeah, it's from like sort of the practical stuff. It's been cool learning about it and like eye-opening because obviously I've got certain beliefs around the world and like healing and trauma and mindset and how do you help someone be the greatest expression of themselves. And then the old school sort of style of parenting and what to do and behavioralism with the kids. There's a great book. I'm rereading it right now. She's coming on my podcast on Friday, actually. Dr. Vanessa Lapointe. She's really solid. I got onto her through Cohen. So she went on Cohen's podcast back in the day. And yeah, just how to, she's got 2 books. I think she's got another one, actually. Parenting Done Right from the Start. That's what I'm rereading at the moment.
Yeah.
And just like the overall focus for parenting is maintain the connection with your child. No matter what happens, they feel safe enough to come back to you. So whatever happens, you have that mutual connection with them.
Do you see yourself threading it into your work?
Me, like teaching
will you thread it into your work and how you can help people? Because that's one big challenge. Like becoming a parent, like I'm now 3 years in.
Yeah, share with me.
And we're now 7 months into the second baby. Yeah. And if you don't have every other area of your life dialed in, like I did the first 7 months of 2025 booze free. Yeah. The back end was quite the opposite, in all honesty, after Adam's Bucks. And I felt the first 7 months I had my shit together. Yeah. The back 5 months of the year, the parenting 2 kids with the growing businesses, starting a new business, as well as I guess the emotional instability through things like alcohol. Yeah. It can make the parenting side feel very, very difficult amongst everything else if you don't have everything else dialed in. So I'd be interested to see where you can thread it into your work to help you people that might be processing trauma because parenting's a lot. You reflect a lot, and I think some of that trauma in particular that perhaps I had as a youngster that you kind of deal with as you become an adult, and you think you've dealt with it, and then when you become a parent again, and you're on the other side of the equation, it almost reignites it, and you're like, "Fuck! Like how could they, or how could knowing how much like my little girls are just my absolute fucking world." To then know, okay, well, when I was on the other side of that, why was it like this? Yeah. It kind of reignites it. So I think it'll be quite interesting for you.
I've thought about it because I believe the closest mirrors to us are relationships, like intimate partners and kids. I think they're the closest ones. Whoever has the most proximity to you, like you guys, if you guys work a lot together, you'll trigger each other from time to time. But the most amount of proximity will be very often your intimate partner and kids. So I've thought of it because of that reason, and whatever unhealed trauma you haven't addressed, you bleed it onto the people who didn't give it to you. So you pass on your shit onto your kids. So that's like, I can see how that would mean a lot for parents to actually want to work on it. Because in business, there's a level of like, say you just don't get along with someone, they triggered you a little bit, but it's all good, just get back to work. Don't worry about it. It's like, you're going to be sleeping next to your partner tonight. It's like, you can't like avoid it. It's right there in your face. So I've definitely thought about it. I thought maybe one of my avatars could become parents that are entrepreneurs. I thought that might be a good avatar for me. So
I think there's space for it.
For sure. It's just such a great mirror, and it's like there's no better example of a mirror because they're literally yours. You co-created that being, and that is the mirror straight back to you, and that's where they reveal that shit, that unprocessed hurt or coding that's within you. Because what you said is really awesome, by the way. It's like that's what I was like. That's what my dad did to me. That's what my mum did to me. Oh my God, that's what I did. Oh my God. And I've just hurt her the same way I got hurt. Fucking hell, I'm a piece of shit. And then it's like, where's that coming from? Let's process that. So yeah, I've definitely thought about it. So I think I'm like someone who likes to journey things before. It's like, I'm the relationship coach who's single. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. Hey guys, here's how you parent when you haven't got a kid yet. But I definitely see it coming. The one thing that I'm pretty confident to say now anyways is whatever hurt you haven't addressed, you're going to pass it on to your kids if you don't address it, because they are so close to you, they're going to trigger it from time to time. So if you know how to regulate and integrate, so the two buckets of tools that I put inner work into, how do you regulate? So when you are triggered or you're dysregulated, how do I come back to neutral? And then how do you integrate what was triggered so it stops getting triggered?
Yeah.
Tony Robbins' like change of state tool is a bit of a regulation tool. I feel shit. Fuck, now I feel good. Yeah. Okay, well, what triggered you to feel shit? If you don't, it's going to bob its head up again. Beach ball. I know the water just keeps bobbing up. And yeah, so thank you for the reflection, man. I think intuitively, I feel like I'm going to head in that direction as I go through it. Because as a content creator, you kind of share what you're going through.
Sure,
so I share,
real.
we'll be sharing all our shit that comes up. So
yeah, they are little mirrors. Yeah. Like my little girl, the 3-year-old, like she's a cracker. Like some episodes on here we're pretty rogue and like I'm a bit of a joker, and she definitely is. Like she'll pick up her little toy laptop and her little toy phone, put it in her bag. She'll walk out the door. She goes, "I'm going to call Powley." This is Powley. She's like, "I'm going to work. I'm going to call Powley." And I'm like, because she fucking watches me do it every single day. And when I take a phone call at home, which I try not to do, like my rule is unless it's a call that's worth in excess of $20,000, I won't take it. Time with the family. My missus is like, if it's in excess of 20K, go and take the fucking phone call.
Go close the deal.
But I walk around when I'm on the phone. And I catch Blake, my daughter, pretending on her toy phone, like blabbing along, but she's walking around. And I'm like, holy shit, you don't think that they pick up on these little things, but they do. And it's just that's when you see all the different stuff online of how there's so many different opinions, and this behavior triggers this, and you do start to kind of overthink it a bit.
Yeah, I think the greatest tool you can pass on to kids is the awareness and tools to work on yourself, because every single parent is going to fuck their kids up at some level. You're going to have moments of not being present for them because business shit at the fan and something happened, because trauma is a moment of overwhelm or underwhelm. What's the chance of being a parent that you give your children exactly what they want every single moment of their life? It doesn't happen. So they're going to have moments where something was not enough for them or it was too much for them. That's where the perception comes into it. So if you can gift them the awareness to heal their own shit and process their own stuff, I think that's the ultimate tool or ultimate gift you can pass on to kids. So when they're ready for it, they can just work on their stuff.
Do you see what they do in Finland?
No.
In Finland, they have a tradition with young kids. Once they reach a certain age, the last hour before bedtime, it's called the worry hour.
Oh, tell me.
And they sit down as a family with your parents, and you all write down everything that you're worried about or feeling sad about that day.
I really like that.
Yeah. And then you shut it. You shut the book, and then the next day you read it and reflect on it.
That's interesting.
Because really sometimes just getting it out of your brain and just acknowledging that this made me feel shit today, this made me feel shit today. 100%. You're not suppressing it. You're actually kind of
that a lot.
letting it come out. And then sometimes by the next day, there might be 6 things on that page, and you go, cool, these 3 or 4 have worked themselves out, or they're now irrelevant, but these are the 2 we need to address.
That's really cool.
And they do that from, I think, maybe like the age of 6 or 5 or 6, where they can start to understand that process. I thought that was incredible.
I like that a lot.
Have you gone down like schooling? Have you gone down that rabbit hole yet?
No.
Have you thought about it?
No, not yet.
But we're trying to figure it out, like homeschooling, Montessori. There's one, there's actually one in the back Narang. It's like forget the name of it. Steiner is
I've heard of Steiner
the
school,
style of parenting. But
they've got that in England as well.
Sure. So we're trying to, we haven't made a decision yet. We're just trying to like what's out there, because it's like the traditional system, they just project all these beliefs on it, and yet fish's ability to climb trees, and it's like you're just boxing people into all these limitations versus what's your gift? What are your values? How can you contribute to humanity in a meaningful way and get a career or professional business doing that? Let's do that. Like that's so. Yeah.
So simple, isn't it?
Yeah, so simple.
Can't play devil's advocate then, right? So I haven't got kids. And if I did, one of my first conscious worries would be, how do I keep the ticker and the dog in those kids who are going to have a bit more financial resources than I had?
Yeah.
That's my first bit.
Make them insecure. Like.
Yeah, that's the thought that just popped up.
The second one is for someone like yourself, they're amazing, very conscious, very self-aware, which is awesome, and your partner is too. How do they go wrong?
How
are they not going to be the perfect kids, right? Compared to a druggy father, an alcoholic mother, whatever it might be.
The term that I'm aware of from the book I just referred to, Parenting Done Right from the Start, is the good enough parent. So if you have like a parent who's abusing the fuck out of you, and there's drugs and there's all these could you have someone like a Tony Robbins who come from that environment still become the overachiever? 100%. You can still certainly have that. But I guess I don't have any data to back any of this up, but it's giving them enough, being good enough where they've got the awareness and the tools to work on their stuff. That's probably the only really answer that I have for now. Be conscious of the projections that you put on them, like what beliefs you put in them, because like you said, they're so conscious of everything. They pick up everything that you do. So being as conscious as we can, doing the best we can with the resources that we have at the time. Just when they're ready for it, like start to teach them about this stuff, because you can't be held accountable to things you're not aware of. Sure. So when they're aware of it, I had that balancing process I referred to. One of my friends said, when are you going to teach your kids the balancing process? I'm like, I'll probably like sort of just have one-liners in there that kind of like, it's like there's like say they failed something. It's like, but you're what a great opportunity to grow, right?
Yeah.
Isn't this helping you become? I'll have like sort of those lines in there. But when they're, I guess, cognitive enough to actually understand it, then I'll like say, hey, this is how it works. This is how it plays out, and all that shit. But yeah, don't have a perfect answer, bro.
Yeah. What about bigger picture then? In terms of the work you do, and it's kind of a bit of a rhetorical question, I guess. Would the world be a better place if everyone had the ability to self-regulate and was so self-aware?
Yeah.
So why aren't we or they?
I'd say the system. That's the sort of the basic answer. I've had the thought. I'm a nerd at heart, by the way. I love Marvel. I'm like, if I was Thanos and I just click my fingers, and everyone knew how to regulate, they knew how to integrate, they knew how to find their own projections, they knew how to find their purpose and go back to the world. Like, how would that change the world? I think it would significantly change the world. Imagine if everyone that you knew on the planet knew how to regulate their emotions so they don't get too dysregulated and act out and do dumb shit. They knew who they were. They weren't overcompensating. They weren't self-sabotaging. They knew how to contribute to humanity in a meaningful way and have a career or business doing that. I'm like, I think the world would be pretty fucking sick. Why is it not there? I'd say the system. The education, that's why I was asking about the education system, because you just don't get taught that. It's like you get tested on things that some people don't give a fuck about. I don't care about geography. Could not give a fuck about it. If you ask me where a country is on the map, I probably don't know where it is. It's like I just don't understand it. But I love coaching. I love psychology. I love spirituality. It's like I'm hyper obsessed on that. So
society as well, and just the box you're in. Like we've done a lot of self-exploratory work, would you say, in the last couple of years, and we're very far down that journey. Someone like yourself, we're probably still quite early on, but in terms of from the general population, we're very, very far down. And I'm speaking with my sister, she's a new mum as well, and she's struggling with X, Y, Z, and I say things that are so perhaps simple to me now, of just like a few things like, okay, go and find the podcast with the things that you're struggling and just binge, just go one episode a day for a few weeks, and it starts to help and things like that. But to those people, it's just alien, because women, maybe not a bad example, but for males, for example, it's taught to suppress and be really strong. So I know that some of the work that we've done, if we were to discuss that, maybe in some of our friends group, or like with my dad in particular, he'd just be like, fuck that. Like, what are you talking about, mate? And it's like, so I think that's one thing we're battling against as well. And that might be from the system and the way that you're brought up.
I'd say what I said before, like when you hear the words have to, ought to, got to, should, it's like projections of things. So I would argue like society is like the human system. We've got the education system, but society is just an unofficial set of beliefs and values that are projected onto you. You have to do this, don't share your emotions, that shit. That for me is still like the cultural system, if you want to use that term instead. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's just not in the society I grew up in and the culture I grew up with. It's just not common. It's like, shut the fuck up and get back into
Get
it.
on with
Yeah,
it.
the best analogy you can use is we're all so passionate about going to the gym, right? And working on our bodies to get the abs, get the pecs, the nice arms, or whatever, whatever female's looking for. And it's like no one's out there going, hey man, what are you doing to look after your brain this week or today?
Yeah, I like the mental diet
Because
as well.
you can't see it.
That's, I argue, if you never work on that, you'll never be fully healthy as well, because all of your stress and triggers affect your nervous system. Your gut health won't work properly. So it's just such a cascade of things. We're young, and we maybe, not that you guys are, but a lot of people who look after their health in general can mask some of that stuff, but all that lingering shit in the background, that's where I said like 40 years old is kind of my average client. 'Cause that's when it's like, fuck, I can't keep avoiding this shit. It's come up so much. I've just ruined another relationship, another marriage. My kids don't talk to me. I've lost all my connections. So yeah, I agree.
Mate, to wrap this up, if I'm not even at level 1, right, I'm at level 0. I'm hearing all this for the first time, and I've kind of blown my brain. I'm thinking, wow, where's the first step? What's the first step on this kind of journey to start to understand, I guess, this world without overwhelming, without kind of blowing my own brain, and sticking to it?
What Harvey said is fantastic. Like, listen to podcasts. Like, jump on podcasts. You'll find your style of what you get into. Like, I love DeMartini, but like so many people, like I learned this from Tony. Like, style is more important initially, then it becomes substance. Yeah. So it's like if you meet someone and they're like, you're not a fan of them, they're not good at speaking, they don't hold themselves really well. You're like, piss off, I'm not interested. But then if that same person has no fucking substance to them, it's like talking to a brick wall. You're like, I'm out of here too. So you'll find your style of what you like. If you like my style, come binge me. If you like Tony, go get into Tony. Like I'll throw some names out there. The biggest mentors that have shifted me the most from like the self-development world, John DeMartini would be number 1. Dr. Joe Dispenza would be number 2. Tony Robbins, more so because he got me started. I'm not like I think there's more depth out there than for Tony. I think Tony is like the biggest funnel. Like I said, he's the
gateway drug.
The gateway drug. I think he gets so many people into it. I think there's other veins to that. And some people are raving fans of Tony, which is perfect. Who else do I love? Wayne Dyer, he's passed, but his work is fantastic. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Dr. Nicole LaPria is fantastic. They're all sort of self-development stuff. In terms of business, fucking listen to you guys. You guys seem like you fucking crushing it. So listen to you guys. Homozy, jump down their rabbit hole. So
yeah. One quick tip with podcasts, and this is what so many people don't realize. If there's a certain topic you want to learn about, you're struggling with, search that word on Spotify.
Cool.
So you don't have to find the podcast and then scroll through the episodes. Like we're doing 2026 no alcohol. I've always had a very interesting relationship with alcohol where it's 0 or 1 million. I just typed in sobriety.
Nice.
And I came across a episode of Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Cool, nice.
Is it Rick Roll or Rich Roll? Podcast.
I saw he was on Jay Shetty's.
Yeah, he was on the Rick Roll. I think it's Rick Roll podcast. Yeah. So I listened to a 2-hour episode earlier of a podcast I would never have ever found. That's with my sister. She's struggling with postnatal health anxiety around her little one. I just typed in postnatal health anxiety.
That's cool.
Found 2 awesome podcasts that are for mums that talk about everything. There's not like this podcast here. We sit down with you and we talk about what we talked about today. We'll sit down with Ryan Tuckwood and we'll talk about sales. So not one podcast is always going to give you the thing you're looking for every week. It's often the guest. So type in the keyword you're struggling with and that'll help.
And my learning style, layer on that, is I like to enter people's world for as long as I can, just binge on them. So I'll listen to every podcast that they've been interviewed on, or I read their books. If they're books, if they're courses, I'll do their course. If you've got the ability to afford their private coaching, go down that pathway. But just like suck all the knowledge out of them until you're like, okay, this problem's solved, and then move on to the next one, and then find your next one. Just get it.
Yeah, love it. Fuck, we covered a lot there today, didn't we?
Thank you, lads.
That's been awesome. I'm physically knackered after that. But that's been so good, mate. I'm keen to listen to this back myself. I think there's so many nuggets that I'll relearn again the second time, the third time, the fourth time. I hope everyone listening does as well. But mate, thanks for being so open. Going as deep as you did, man, asking the tough questions as well, because that's what it's all about.
Thanks for answering them. Some people aren't willing to answer. We did a process, a short story. We did a balancing process at Dion's event, actually, the same event. And there's this guy, I'm like, hey bro, how'd you go with the question? He's like, I didn't answer it. I was like, do you want to? I was like, nah, I'm just going to watch. I'm like, love you, brother.
You'll get there.
All good. Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
And we'll make sure that we get your socials, so when we start pumping videos out and the episode comes out,
we'll tag along, collaborate, I'll share it around.
Yeah, and people will be able to find you if they want to work with you.
Thank you, brothers.
Yeah, if they do want to find you, mate, just while you're there, where's the Insta? Where's Twitter? What's the TikTok?
Lewis Huckstep. I'm most active on Instagram. Cool. So chance of getting me would be there. School is where you'll 100% get me. I'm the only one in there. But on most socials, on most of them.
Thanks
Love
again, mate. Nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you, lads.
Hey guys, it's Jake and Lockie from Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, and we are pumped to be sponsoring the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
We're on a mission to foster a generation of Australians who take sun safety more seriously and encourage it amongst their mates. You can find us at naturallycooked.com.au or follow us at Naturally Cooked Sunscreen.